So my name is Christian Kinkombe. I'm the co-founding managing partner of 4IP Group, which has a presence in both Switzerland and in Zambia. And maybe next year, if everything goes well, we'll also have a presence in Congo DRC. I'm also an accredited trainer for the SDG Impact Standards. In fact, I was part of only the second cohort of trained trainers, of which there today still are only 17 trainers operating on the African continent. The SDG Impact is a global initiative of the United Nations Development Programme within its Sustainable Finance Hub, coordinated from the UNDP office in Pretoria in South Africa. It is 100% focused on the private sector to ensure that the private sector's contribution towards the sustainability and the SDGs. It's a recognition that in order to achieve the SDGs, we need the private sector and we need to finance the SDGs. Behind every development activity, there's a need for financing, which this initiative has been brought together to focus on. There are two work streams. The first one is the SDG Investor Maps, and the second one is the SDG Impact Standards, which are looking to strengthen impact practices and embed managing for impact into how private sector businesses and investors make their decisions in order to deepen impact. The latter work stream is what I'm going to talk about today. But before I do that, let me just mention the so-called SDG Investor Maps, which basically maps out the investment opportunity areas in the market at the intersection between the SDG needs, the policy priority, and investor interest. As you can see, there are currently 633 investment opportunity areas across the African continent on the platform. But currently, for example, there's no Zambian investment opportunity areas as of now, notwithstanding the recent Zambia Impact Investing Summit. Before I present the SDG Impact Standards, around 2 weeks ago, an announcement, not 2 weeks ago, around 1 month ago, an announcement was made by the co-founder and CEO of the Global Impact Investing Network, Mr. Amit Buri, who unveiled the organization's biannual market sizing estimates on stage of the GIIN Impact Forum, which took place in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Based on the GIIN's own research, the global impact investing market is now estimated to be around 1.5 trillion US dollars of asset under management. This figure is up by more than 400 billion US dollars from what they estimated in 2022, which indicate a growing mainstream acceptance of impact investing, even in the face of global unrest, inflation, increasing impact of climate change. However, among the more than 1,475 organizations reporting on both their asset under management and their headquarters location, the vast majority are based in Western, Northern, and Southern Europe. That's 45%, and the US and Canada, North America with 34%. Impact investors in emerging markets were more frequently headquartered in Sub-Saharan Africa with 6%, the Middle East and North Africa with only 2%. Investors based in developed markets managed 95% of the sample impact asset under management, while organizations based in emerging markets accounted for only 5% of asset under management. So within the investment space, we have created the so-called 4IP Group Impact Lions Den. So far, we have organized 4 e-pitching events under the name Impact Lions Den in collaboration with around 50 plus VC funds and more than 50 economic and support organizations that have signed financial service agreements with us. The latest e-pitching event took place around 2 months ago. The next one will take place on the 19th of December, as you saw in the communication that I shared with you earlier today. So who are the impact investors investing in Africa? Some of the largest impact funds in our database are run by managers known primarily for their non-impact strategies. It should be noted that of the top 10 impact funds raised in 2023, 7 were the first fund in a family, if not the first fund from the asset manager, Only 2 had a Roman numeral higher than 3, meaning that they are no longer considered uh, as an emerging fund manager. This is not a space that houses many long-term track records at the fund family level, making diligence more challenging for some. Of the fund managers dedicated to impact investing, some are incredibly targeted, such as Asana Ventures, a Luxembourg-based asset manager focusing on food and agriculture investment, or Generation Investment Management, despite being one of the larger and longest running impact dedicated managers at 44 billion in asset under management. It has a laser focus on climate through investment targeting reduced emission, which can be found in many industries and provide positive outcomes in other impact categories. From the more than 200 investment firms that you saw on the previous slide investing on the African continent, we have reached out to around 70 of those investors to ask them if they would like to be our impact lions or lionesses throughout the series. For impact lines, then we only choose those VC who have expressed an interest in at least one of the solution that's being pitched. So during the second event, we we invited these 5 impact lions and lionesses from the list of impact funds we collaborate with to listen to the pitches by the founders selected from our own database of investment ready and scalable companies which have at least taken the introduction course to the SDG Impact Standards as you are doing today. From the third event, we chose the following asset managers, as you can see on a picture